What's the deal? You're now rocking with the best. It's the Remnant.
You are in the field with the Trackstarz,
Ryan Righteous,
and Seantana,
and DJ Jeremiah. Holler.
Booyah.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Seantana, DJ Jeremiah. All right, this is a fun day today. It's really fun. Okay, so this topic is going to be a serious one. It's going to be a little touchy, and the reason we're doing it.
No pun intended.
You are completely stupid. All right, that was not supposed to be funny. Don't mind Jeremiah in the corner. All right, no, but seriously, all right, so we need adults to have this conversation. We need adults. We need grown people.
I love that song. Sorry.
All right, but anyway, no, seriously, we got. You done?
Yeah.
Once you hear what it is, you're gonna be like, "Why is he laughing?" Okay. Anyway, so we got a Noteworthy, right? And we love Noteworthy, but we got a Noteworthy recently that was a little graphic. And if you listen to the show, not last week, the week before last, we brought it up, but we didn't do it. And we decided that we're still not going to do it because we tried to clean it up, but it was just so, it was very raw. So, but the reason we struggle with this so much is because there's a piece of that we have never, we touched on it. I don't know why I keep using that word. All right, we've delved into it a little bit, but we've never really addressed it.
Oh my! This is such an interesting show, you guys.
It's because of you. I was gonna say never addressed it head on, and then I'm like thinking of Jeremiah.
Oh my!
All right. All right. So I don't even know if we should do this.
I mean, we're in it now. What are you?
All right. Anyway. All right. Seriously. Okay. So the issue that was brought up was basically the gist of the Noteworthy was. The person that was afraid that he wouldn't be able to satisfy his wife, so he felt like he needed to practice, and he was basically saying, is that okay if you're not lusting? And of course the first thing we thought of was, how is that even possible? Like that's part of it. So basically what we're talking about today is masturbation, and we've talked about purity in the past. We've talked about no sex before marriage in the past, and you've heard me and Ryan's story, and you know all of what our whole history was. So you know what, we're very big proponents of abstinence and waiting till you're married, and that is possible. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a myth. We did it. We're proof of that. So we want to encourage everybody, young men, young women, that you can wait till marriage and you're not lame. You won't miss out on anybody. Like it's fine. It's fine. So. But part of that, if you are doing this, there's a couple of things that come up that are confusing. Like, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And the one that always comes up is masturbation. Now, the first time it was brought to my attention that there was a problem amongst Christians with this was when Selita did the piece. Her piece was called
Sex is My Testimony.
Sex is My Testimony. And that was a big theme in there. That's something that she struggled with. And I remember somebody I knew at the time was like, what? I didn't know that was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it was just complete surprise. Like, what do you mean that's wrong? I thought if I'm not having sex, then I'm good. Yeah. And this whole concept of masturbation and the fact that you're lusting after something in your mind. You're lusting. You have to for it to work. That concept of pleasing yourself is not biblical. It's not godly. And if you want to get into it, there's passages all the way back to the Old Testament. But the gist of it is you have to lust after somebody or something to get this whole process to work. And that's part of that goes against the purity that God calls for before you get married. So what do you do about this? What do you do about people that may have thought they were doing really well, but they were struggling with masturbation? Probably are like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I thought I was doing really good. So what do we say to people who are struggling with this? How do you really be completely abstinent? Like, is that impossible? How do you do it?
It's not impossible, but it's very challenging. I mean, I would definitely say you first of all have to ask God to give you a genuine conviction regarding it, because if you're just listening to this and you're like, I don't understand what the problem is, I don't see what the big deal is. It's not one of those things that you can will your way out of. Like, you genuinely have to have a personal conviction regarding it. So I would definitely start with, conversing with God about it, researching in His Word about what He says regarding it, so that you can start to develop those personal convictions, because you're going to need to stand on that in times of temptation.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh
No,
my.
I think the thing is, it is a subject that is taboo, because you think I know of people when I was growing up as a teenager, parents was like, I want you to have sex, but you could do X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? You could do this. So, I mean, I think the thing is, it is one of those things that it requires lust. At the end of the day, it does require lust. Like, without lusting, you can't get, I mean, you won't be too graphic. You can't get aroused without, without that. So, it I don't want to say what I was about to say, but I think the thing is, they go together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say, man. Like, it's no way that you could do it without being biblically wrong.
And that arousal was and is designed for the confines of marriage. Bottom line, that sexual arousal.
Right. So,
but now the thing, for somebody out there that's saying, like, it is a struggle, what can I do to either stop, or what can I do? Because, like you said, it's one of those points, like almost on the Deidre Catton level of when you was talking, when you said, like,
it's not directly in the Bible.
Yeah, it's not something in the Bible that says.
It.
I mean, it's scripture where it was a story where somebody dropped a seed on the ground and they died. But
Which
I
is
mean,
a different problem.
yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But that was something else. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I don't. You can't really say. It's kind of hard to tell people stuff and you like, it's lust. Yeah, it's lust, but is it biblical? Because somebody always come from that standpoint. Like,
but
is it a biblical?
There's a passage
thing?
in Solomon, and I'll see if I can find it before the end of the show, where it talks about not waking up love or before it's time, and basically how we don't control when that is awakened, or we should not, I should say, control when that is awakened. But because it is literally a sleeping giant. Once you wake it up on its own, or however, it is hard to, knock that joker back out. But all that to say, God has reserved sexual intimacy for a particular time, and that is within the confines of marriage. So that passage of scripture, I know, for me, helped a lot, and quite honestly, that speaks to the broader picture of sexual arousal, period, because this, masturbation falls right in the same category of, oral sex, or even heavy making out and petting, because all of it was designed to finish a process, which is, sex. And so realizing that you just don't want to start something that you're not supposed to finish, basically,
Right. And I feel like there's two people listening or watching right now. One set of people that are like, yeah, finally somebody's talking about this, and yeah, tell them, But then I feel like there's somebody else that's sitting there like, come on, Sean, I hate listening to y'all show. Y'all always be talking about stuff I'm dealing with. Like, why I got to do this too? You know what I mean? Like that kind of attitude of, and I mean, but you have to. Like, the reason we talk about stuff on this show is because it's not just the ultimate sin that we're trying to prevent. It's the everything that leads you to that sin, because it starts in your mind. It starts as a seed in your mind. Like, well, if this is okay, then somebody can convince you to do the next thing. And what we're trying to do is get you to realize is that this is all the same temptation. It's all the same thing. Now, I don't know if I've told, I probably have on the show in the past, but I never struggled with masturbation, but I can't take any credit for it. My dad, when I was 13 or 14 or whatever, he sat me down and he told me that why masturbation was wrong. He told me that, and it shocked me. I'm just like, why are you telling me this? You know what I mean? But he just told me, like, I do not want you to struggle with this. I don't want you to struggle with this. And that mattered to me. And that's what I'm saying I can't take credit for it, because not everybody has a dad that would be brave enough to talk about something that, that personal. But that stuck in my mind. So I always knew in my mind that was wrong, so I didn't struggle with that. But for somebody who never heard that or is hearing it right now for the first time, that God is not pleased with that in your life, I can imagine you just being like, well, dang, what am I supposed to do? And it's just this realization that sex is completely for marriage. None of it is supposed to be outside of marriage. And that concept of, it's not just intercourse that's wrong, it's everything regarding it. All of it is supposed to be a gift. It's like you're ripping the paper of the gift before Christmas. Like, that's what you're doing. You're basically shaking the box. You're peeking under the wrapping. Like, that's what you're doing when you play with some of this stuff. And if you can get a handle on this and you can really understand this, you can really prevent a lot of pain in your life. Because temptation is serious, man. Temptation is serious, and if you let a little bit of temptation in, it'll take over your life. And you could be the most well-intentioned Christian young man or woman as you think you want to be, but if you let a little temptation in, you let a little sin into your life, it could take you. You will be surprised at who you are in a couple of years. You will be surprised. Like, if you could hear who you're going to be in a couple of years, talking about, well, is God real and da-da-da, like, it could take over your life. Because you'll have to give up something to follow God, and you're taking on another master almost. And then if there's a point where you need to choose, you're going to be like, well, I don't want to give this up, so you'll start defending it. I mean, I've seen this over and over again. You'll start defending this because you don't want to get rid of it. So keep all the footstools out of your life. Like, this is a very big one, and it's one that's not talked about. It's one that's celebrated on TV. Every movie that I watch, especially every comedy, they drill this. Like, this is like, you're supposed to do it, and that's not true. That's not biblical. Don't be fooled by what's on TV. This is the ultimate private sin, and you cannot fall to this, because if you fall to stuff in private, your whole life you'll be tempted to be fake with the rest of your life. And that's how I think the devil gets you, is because you try and live this Christian life, you try and speak in your church, or you try and, live out loud for God, but God, the enemy is like reminding you, but remember what you did yesterday. You ain't all the way who you say you are. I got you. You know what I mean? Just that he has you on something. And I just want to make sure that the devil has no hold on you at all. He can't pull no cards on you, because like that word blameless in the Bible always stood out to me. Like, what does God mean when so-and-so is blameless? You know what I mean? Does it mean he was perfect? It doesn't seem like it, because the people he said that about didn't seem perfect, but he called them blameless. And I think it's just that attitude of, the devil ain't got nothing on me. I'm not hiding anything. There's stuff that in my past maybe that he could bring up, but I already know I've been forgiven of that. There's nothing there's no secret in my life right now that I'm afraid somebody's going to find out about. I think that's the way to live stress-free. That's the way to live without any weight on your shoulders, and we just want to make sure that you do that. So if you have any questions, you're struggling with that, hit us up, trackstarsradio.com. Let us know you want to fill out another Noteworthy. If it ain't graphic, we'll read it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, this is serious. So if this is your first time hearing that, hit us up, man. We'll walk you through it. It's difficult. We'll let you hear the Celebs piece that we're talking about that really broke down like why it's wrong and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, hopefully that helps y'all. You in the field with the track.